Some of you have been having trouble with just straight multiplication, so I thought I want to show you a little bit of a little different way to multiply numbers that may or may not be easier for you. We'll just take a look at it. If you like it, great. If you don't, stick with what you've got. So let's take a problem like 14 times 23, let's say. All right, normally we would just multiply the 3 times the 14 and the 2 times the 14, and it's pretty straightforward with simple problems like this, but I want to use this to show you what I'm talking about. So the thing is, I can take the number 23, and if you think of it, the number 23, 20 and 3. So I could, instead of writing it as 23, I could write it as 20 plus 3. And what that allows me to do is I can split this 14 times 23 into two separate problems. One of them is 14 times 20, and the other one is 14 times 3. So what I'm going to do is do those two problems separately, and then I'm going to add their products. So in the 14 times 20, well, I know 0 times 14 is going to be 0, so I can put a 0 there. 2 times 4 is 8. And 2 times 1 is 2. So 14 times 20 is 280. And over on the 3 times 14, 3 times 4 is 12. Carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 is 4. And now I just add these two together. Now I've got two digits over here, so I'm going to go over two places and to make sure they line up. I'm going to put the 42 here, add those up, and I get 2, 8 and 4 is 12. 3. So this guy is 322. Yeah, all I'm doing is taking this number and I'm splitting up into its parts to make separate problems. This way I don't have to have multiple lines right underneath the problem. Sometimes people are having trouble keeping those lined up. Let's do another one. Say we had 31 times 24. Yeah. All right, so again, I'm going to split 24 into 20 plus 4. And I'm going to do the times 31 for each one of those, and then I'll add those guys up. Now this is a lot easier adding it this way than trying to keep the numbers going up and down here. So here again, 20 times something, the first going to be a 0, and then 2 times 1 is 2, 2 times 3 is 6. Over on the 4, the times 4, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 3 is 12. I have three digits here, so I'm going to 1, 2, 3. I'm going to go over 3 to make sure they line up. 124. I add those bad boys, and I got 4. 2 and 2 is 4. 6 and 1 is 7. So 31 times 24 is 744. All right, one more. We'll do a little more complicated one this time, a little bigger one. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to multiply that by 234. I'm going to do the same thing. This bottom number here, 234, I'm going to use it as 200 plus 30 plus 4. And I'm going to multiply each of those times the 1, 2, 3, 4. Now these guys, these individual ones, I think they're easier to do than to try to put the whole mess underneath here. So again, I'm multiplying times 200, so the two zeros, they come down, right? 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 3 is 6, 2 times 2 is 4, and 2 times 1 is 2. So that's for the first part. Now the next part, times 30, so 0, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 3 is 9, and 1 is 10. 3 times 2 is 6, is 1 and 7. 3 times 1 is 3, that's the second piece. And now 4 times 4 is 16, 4 times 3 is 12, and 1 is 13. 4 times 2 is 8, and 1 is 9, and 4 times 4. Now I just have to add these guys up. And here again, I have to be careful that they line up. So I have in this number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 digits. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to put the 3, 7 under those guys. And this number has 1, 2, 3, 4 digits. So I'm going to start 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start right under the 7. So that's the 4, 9, 3, 6. Now I add these up. 0 and 0 and 6 is 6. 2 and 3 is 5. 8 and 0 is 9 is 17. 6 and 7 is 13, and 4 is 17, and 1 is 18. Carry the 1. 5 and 3 is 8. 2 is 2. So 1,234 times 234 is going to be 288,756. Put a comma in there to make it easy to read. So again, I'm doing all the same multiplication, except I'm just doing them in 3 separate parts, or however many parts I have, and then just adding those together. What do you think? We'll talk about it a little more in class. Done.